Brent here. Today, I wanted to share with you the importance of not wasting your finances on uh, sustaining your image. And I'm not really talking about you know, having like a dirty clothes or kind of raggedy stuff or not having some kind of style. That's not what I'm saying. What's really happening is a lot of times we tend to want to spend something which you cannot really afford just to impress other people. One of the most notable things is, for instance, like cars or luxury items that the cost itself aren't really that much, but because of the brand names, it gets really expensive. Markup is super high, and I think if you have a certain amount of income or money and you can afford it, so be it. Like you can spend that type of conspicuous consumption type of things. But when you are moving up the ladder, you have your resources is your strength. The more your resources you have, you can allocate it to something that actually improve your future. Like you can spend time on some sort of like tools, courses, education, books, or something that you can buy time, right? Like if you have some sort of like a savings, not spending time on the money on something that you actually don't need, then you can spend something on something you actually really need to enhance your life. And this is actually a lot harder to do because a lot of times we care about the image of how other people perceive you. So first, like you have to actually really think how much the other people really care about you. Like, would that somebody else's opinion really enhance your life, or it doesn't really matter? It's more like your ego thing. And most of the time, like as long as you have the ability to produce something or uh, serve something like some kind of skill you have, then nobody really actually care what kind of appearance you have, what position you have. For instance, like if you have like really the something that people want, like let's say you're really cool to hang out with, or some kind of skills or knowledge that people want, then what kind of car, what kind of school you go to, any of the things doesn't matter. They don't judge you by any of the goods that you surround yourself with, but your substance. I think most of people wanted to go there, but then they get distracted by the message, like social media or social circles that you might be in. Everybody kind of gets influenced and then kind of keep up with their appearance. And if you don't notice that carefully, and then if you kind of run that you cannot restrain yourself from spending more than what's needed, what's necessary, then eventually you're going to get in trouble. It is because humans have a very difficulty lowering their lifestyle that once they get accustomed to. So even if you don't have quite a lot of resources or money, if you kind of, in appearance, you raise that standard, like let's say car or your bags or whatever, trinkets, jewelry, whatever else, then it's harder to wear something or possess something less cool. So you'll spend more and more just to maintain, not necessarily anymore about the other people. Other people are important once you get into that type of mentality, but more so to yourself, like your ego. Even if you grow older, your lifestyle gets less, and then you can't really stomach that. Once you get really trapped in that mentality, then a lot of people do is to even get into a debt or even work on some jobs that they don't really need to work on. or sacrifice a lot of like more meaningful things to make your life better, that they neglect those, and then just to keep up all these like appearances. And also another important factor is that type of mentality is actually very destructive when it comes to tenure success, because uh, most of your development, actual advancement, comes something that it is invisible, like skill building, uh, being patient when things are brewing within you after you trained, that type of things. It's a very, very underground things. Like it's not visible until it kind of flowers out. So if you have that type of mentality, like, okay, I just need to have that appearance always in a first class, then you'll cut corners. Now, this is very much your inner being that is misaligned to what you really focus on to advance your life forward. So you might think, okay, somebody else's opinions or image of you is very important to success. This is completely false. It's the other way around. So what I'm saying is, like, if your ability, like inner ability, becomes more and more, then you're gonna earn more. You're gonna get more recognized, and then you're gonna gain more wealth, and then from there, actually, you can have those appearance, right? So actually, less you are concerned of other people's opinion, then actually that accelerates the goal that actually you want. But then there is a period of time that then you probably not going to get any of these. But then you will feel the advancement because you're putting your resources towards what really matters, like yourself. And then to have that, you really want to have the solid inner scorecard. Inner scorecard concept, I already talked about it, but basically you judge your life based on what matters to you. Nothing to do really with other people's opinion. Clearly, if somebody is, if you could just be selfish, totally selfish, right? Then eventually the things will not quite work out, right? The success is all about, or not really all about, but the success is comes from deeper insight than other people has. And then one of the deeper insight is to serve people, right? Give people what they want. That makes you one of the most successful people on earth. Or you identify the system that is weak, although legal, you can, so to speak, exploit. So you cannot be that selfish, but then your core have to be an inner scorecard, means it's like in your life, only you know exactly what you need to fulfill, what your weaknesses, what your strengths are. Those things, sometimes when you're younger, somebody like a mentor or your dad or your uncle or whoever might have to tell you, okay, this is good for you. But then you always have to be careful. You have to judge yourself, because outside in might be shrewd opinion, but in the subtlety, you might only know because nobody is watching your life, like how much you're working towards certain things or not. So I want you to do this. Like if you're trying to purchase something, like spending something on, and if you're trying to impress other people, then that's a bad one. But if you were trying to satisfy yourself, okay, I worked this much hard, so I wanted to have a quality things, then you check your price, it makes sense, you feel satisfied, and that's a good purchase. But other than that, you are really sacrificing one of the most important resources that you can make your life a lot better. So real progress is really generally quiet when you are building it, but then that actually compounds. And then when you spend on something conspicuous, it's just a liability that you have to keep spending on for something that doesn't do anything with you, right? It's just that somebody else made it for you, and then you just buy it, and then you drive around, you wear around, or whatever. It doesn't really add to your value. And then a lot of people, the more longer you hang out with other people, they'll see through you that then you have not much beyond that. So it's just a lose-lose situation if you sacrifice your finances for your image. Thank you for watching, and then please like it and subscribe, and I will see you next time.